What is up, you guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Mackenzie. If you're not new, thank you for coming back. So I've got a fun and exciting video today. Jenny from over at Hakko USA reached out and was kind enough to offer to send over a few of their products. So we're going to be unboxing, testing out, reviewing the smoke absorber from Hakko USA, their tip cleaner, and their tip cleaning paste. So that sounds like something you guys are into. Let's get started. Okay guys, so I zoomed in a little bit closer to give you a little bit of a better view, but before we get started, I just wanted to again say thank you to Jenny over at Hakko USA. It means so much, being such a small YouTuber, to have companies still reach out and want me to try out their products. I am honored to be a part of this awesome stained glass. I hate to say trend, because I hope stained glass is really making a comeback for good. It's such a beautiful art, and I'm so proud to be a part of that. Thank you so much to Jenny and for everyone over at Hakko USA for sending this over. I really, really appreciate it. Okay, so let's crack into this. So I already opened up this box because the day that I got this, it was pouring rain outside. So I immediately took it in and opened it up just to make sure nothing got wet. And we were lucky, nothing got wet. So, packed very well, lots of bubble wrap. Oh wow, this is big. Wow. Okay, so this is a lot bigger than I thought it was. This is the smoke absorber in this box. This is a good size, and it's got some good weight to it too. I know and trust the Hakko name brand very well, because the Hakko FX601, that's a legendary soldering iron, and I trust the company. Feels very heavy, I like that. Having a product with weight behind it, it's just another check mark off the list of being built well for some reason when it's heavier. But this is a smoke absorber. This is a good size box. I was not anticipating it being this big. So there's the smoke absorber, and they sent over, like I said, their tip cleaning paste and their tip cleaner, which I'm really excited about. So tip cleaning paste, I'm super excited for this. So this is such a small something, but I love tip cleaning paste. Now, if you guys have watched my other videos, you probably heard me say before that I feel like I tend to wipe my soldering iron off on my wet sponge a lot more than the average person for some reason. I'm not really exactly sure why I do that, but because I do that, tip cleaning paste is my best friend. I always have it right by my soldering iron, so I'm really excited to try a good name brand, Hakko soldering iron tip cleaning paste. So super excited about that. And then they also gave me this. So this is the tip cleaner, and I've had one of the refills that go inside one of these things before, but it's kind of hard to use if you don't have the case. The whole point is to have this case around those brass coils to really avoid that solder splattering from all over the place when you plunge your soldering iron inside of it. So this is the Hakko tip cleaner. I love how this looks. I'm a silver girl, obviously, but I love this deep copper look, and it's got little sticky pads at the bottom so it's not going to slide all over the place, which I really like. And it's obviously got the coiled tip cleaner on the inside. So right on the website, I have notes in front of me on this, and on this little piece of paper it says the Hakko F99B tip cleaner is the ideal cleaning alternative to the traditional wet sponge. The non-abrasive brass shavings, so this little brass sponge on the inside, is tough enough to scrub residual solder from your soldering tools without your soldering iron becoming cool. So every single time you wipe your soldering iron off that damp sponge, obviously it's going to bring the temperature down a little bit. So using something like this completely eliminates that issue, if it is an issue for you. So I'm super excited. It also says the Hakko F99B cleans your soldering iron tip without water. It's made from coils of brass, which is softer than the tip plating, yet harder than the oxidation that forms on the tip. To clean the tip, simply plunge the iron tip into the coils. The shell design keeps the solder from splattering, and it will not reduce the tip temperature, and it's a great alternative to the conventional wet, damp sponge. So I'm really excited to try this. So here's the actual brass coil sponge. It feels so cool. Can you guys hear that? Super, super squishy. That's how you replace it. I love that this top just pops right off, and there's a little container in the bottom. You can just empty that out if for some reason it starts to really fill up. And there's the tip cleaner. I'm so curious to see what it's actually like to try to not use a damp sponge while soldering. I know, just like a lot of us, I can get so stuck in just my ways of doing things because it's just how I've always done it. So I'm really excited to try this. I'm so excited to have the actual case that goes with it and the Hakko brand. So Super excited about this. Super excited about the paste, but most excited for this. Actually, speaking of, let's read the tips on the actual paste here. Okay, so on the tip cleaning paste, it says Hakko FS 100 chemical paste is specially formulated to easily remove oxide from soldering tips. It can be used alone or with the FT 700 tip polisher for increased effectiveness. The FS 100, this, will help rejuvenate any oxidized and or corroded soldering iron tips back to useful life. So, those are all the tips on the paste. I'm so excited for that paste. I love paste so much. Now let's get to the most exciting part, the smoke absorber. So, this is the Hakko FA 400 smoke absorber. Let's read all about it. So right on the website, it says, first of all, it's $77.77. The Hakko FA 400 benchtop smoke absorber is a quick, safe, and efficient way to absorb soldering smoke and fumes. Optional high-efficient filters are available, and all filters are easily replaceable. So we can easily replace the filters inside, and we can get even better filters as a separate option if you want to. Of course, all of this stuff is going to be on the website. So the features and benefits: it can be used in a vertical standing up position or a low profile position laying down. Unit is made of non-sloughing, is that the right word? S-L-O-U-G-H-I-N-G. I don't like that word. Static dissipative conductive material and operates quietly. That's what I'm looking for, because do you remember from my testing random Amazon products, that smoke absorber that I got? It was super cheap. It's loud. I literally have to wear headphones if I want to hear my phone or the TV, which I hate doing because, like I often say, I'm soldering for 7-8 hours at a time some days because I pick soldering days. So I don't want to be wearing headphones for that long. It literally hurts my ears. So having a quiet smoke absorber is going to be a game changer. I'm excited to see how quiet it actually is. So this thing uses a standard activated carbon filter, and it absorbs up to 80% of the odors from the air, and it's easy to replace. It uses the existing 493 filters and accessories. No optional special high efficiency filters can be purchased, and it removes up to 90% of airborne particles. This is awesome. I love this. I'm so excited to try this out. So with all of that being said, let's open this bad boy up and see what it looks like. Okay, so right on the top, you've got a little directions packet or instruction manual, tells you the packing list and the part names. So I would definitely hold on to this piece of paper. Don't throw this away, because this shows you every replaceable part and part on it. So it shows you the filter, what kind it is, the instruction manual, power switches, an arm stand. Is there an arm stand on this thing, or do I have to get that separately? It tells you all about the operation, absorbing smoke around you. Cool, so definitely hold on to this. Don't get rid of that. Wow, this is bigger than I thought. I like this. Okay, so here's what it looks like right out of the box. This is a good size, a nice new clean filter. It's in separate packaging. Nice thick heavy duty cord. The on off switch is right on the back. This looks really nice. Like I said, this is heavy, so this is heavy duty, you guys. I'm not worried about breaking this thing even from a drop. Of course you don't want to do that, but this feels very well made. So you can see right on the front there are these 4 little clips, and the filter is going to sit right inside of those. Just like that, easy peasy. Hold on to this little instruction manual, because this shows you how to replace the filter. When you replace it, looking from the bottom, there's 2 little finger points. Do you see those little indents right there? That's how you pull the filter out. You just pop your fingers in there and pull the filter out. Okay, so operation. It says absorbing widespread smoke. In order to absorb widespread smoke, install the absorber as the right figure shows and turn on the power. It says to absorb smoke around you, install the absorber on a table, just like it's shown in the photo. The absorption power is much stronger in this installation than in the conventional. So the conventional is having it sit upright just like this. This will absorb smoke around the room. So for a more concentrated absorption, we're going to flip it down that way. But on the contrary, this installation is not suitable for absorption of widespread smoke. So we've got two options. Replacing the filter, absorption capacity will decline by using the filter, obviously. Replace the filter when the filter surface totally turns white. Okay, so did you hear that? We know when to replace the filter because the surface of the filter will totally turn white. Okay, so if it's got a layer of dust on it or a layer of white, it's time to replace that filter. So I suggest if you guys are gonna buy one of these, just get the extra filter at the same time. That way you've got one always on stock. So now we know the basic gist of how we're going to use our smoke absorber, our tip cleaner, and our tip cleansing paste. So I've already got some glass cut out and foiled so we can really test this stuff out. Let me just set that up and we will get to trying out all these products. Alrighty, and again you guys, this is just some crappy random scrap glass that I already cut and foiled just for the sake of testing all of this stuff out. I've got my flux in my jar right here. We've got our chemical paste stuck down. We've got our tip cleaner right here because I am going to try to use that this entire time without using my damp sponge. We've got our smoke absorber right to the left. We've got it sitting exactly how they suggested. So instead of having it sit upright for widespread smoke absorption, we're flipping it to face down with the butt facing our soldering area. Hopefully this is nice and quiet. Let's see. Wow. I think you guys will be able to hear me with that on. This is fantastic. I was expecting that to be so much louder. Not only is it way nicer, it's double the size of my other one. I was not expecting that. That's fantastic. Okay, so I guess let's just get right into testing these out. The first thing I'm gonna test out is the tip cleaner because I do like to clean off the tip after the first time I turn it on. So, like I said, it's got these little sticky grips right on the bottom, so you should be able to stick your iron in, but I am gonna hold it just to be safe. And again, we're plunging directly in and pulling out. We're not doing any swiping motions like this or anything because we don't want solder to splatter everywhere. I am quite curious to test out this chemical paste because it is something that I do enjoy using a lot. So at some point in this video, even though I might not necessarily need it, I am going to test out that chemical paste and just the way it reacts with your soldering tip and how it melts, you're gonna be able to tell whether or not it's gonna do the job. So our iron's ready. Let's lay down some flux and see how well this smoke absorber absorbs. Well, it's definitely doing its job, you guys. I can't even see the smoke because it's pulling it over into the fan so quickly, which is great. I'm not worried about what this solder job looks like. I'm really just doing this. Again, this is scrap glass just for the sake of testing this out. And I put on a lot of flux so I can really see the smoke. And to be honest, I can't see any because it's immediately pulling it into that smoke absorber. I'm gonna test out this chemical paste. Whoa, that melted way quicker than I thought it was going to. So I'm curious. It's definitely pulling that smoke in from right here, but I wanna see what does it pull in if we put it face up. Ooh, I think I like that better. I know it says we're not supposed to do that, and I'm doing this tip cleaner again because that gets it really smoky. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. This is doing a fantastic job, but I think I almost like it sitting up this way better. I don't know. Yeah, guys, I love that paste. I've been having so many issues with my soldering iron lately because I've recently changed what type of solder I use, the brand, and my iron kind of freaked out over it. And no matter what I did to clean it, to scrub it off in one of those from a different brand, or the normal chemical paste that I was using, it was not fixing it. This just fixed it. I'm not having the same skipping issues that I've been dealing with for months, ever since I switched to that new solder. And again, you guys, you can't even see any smoke coming off because it's immediately getting pulled into that smoke absorber. Okay guys, so I took quite a bit of time actually testing out all of these products, but I didn't want to make you guys sit through all that, so I'm just going to zip through this here and get back with you guys in a second. Alrighty guys, now that I've had a good amount of time to actually play around with all three of these products, let's talk about my final thoughts. First and foremost, I'm happy with them all. I'm happy and I'm really pleasantly surprised with all of them. So let's talk about the smoke absorber first. The smoke absorber, again, is $77.77. Now, that's a small price to pay for what it does. Not only does it absorb 80% of odors from the air, but up to 90% of particles, airborne particles, which is fantastic. That's huge, especially for those of us that are soldering every single day, no matter what kind of soldering you're doing. If you're soldering for stained glass, if you're doing electronic soldering, it doesn't matter. That's a very small price to pay, and you have a great brand name behind it. So versus buying that $30, $40 random no-name brand smoke absorber from Amazon, you don't know if you're going to be able to get any replacement parts for them, never mind replacement filters and how long you can get them. So that alone makes it a huge plus. And beyond that, it's so quiet. I know I'm not gonna have to wear headphones anymore when I'm trying to watch TV or watch my phone while I'm soldering, which is huge. Like I said, I solder for sometimes 8-9 hours a day on my soldering days, which is a long time, and it hurts your ears to have them in headphones that long. So I'm super excited. Again, 80% of odors and 90% of airborne particles. That's a huge, huge, huge difference. Again, a very small price to pay for priceless protection. I'm super happy with it, and I tried it both ways. So I tried it facing up like this and facing down for the more concentrated smoke absorption, and I like them both. I like them both. Again, follow the directions. That's what I always suggest. I like it both though. I think they both work fantastic. I think the price is great. We can get different kind of filters. We always know the parts and the filters are going to be available. They're not just going to disappear. I absolutely approve of the Hakko smoke absorber. Of course, I'm gonna link everything down below. They won't be affiliate links or anything. I'll just link them to make it easier. I'm also going to look into the extended arm. I don't know what it's talking about. I'll have to look at my phone, but it seems like some type of arm you can hook onto your table and it will hold the smoke absorber. I want to look into that, see if I can get that, and of course I'll do an updated video if I do get it. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I think the smoke absorber is great. Now, let's talk about this tip cleaner. So this tip cleaner is $9.67. I love this thing. I was not expecting to love this as much as I do. So the very first time I plunged my soldering iron into it, I could see a huge difference with how much cleaner my soldering tip looked, which, like I said, I've been having issues. I've recently made a switch to a different type of solder now that I'm buying it in like major bulk since the metal prices went up. I switched it, and when I switched the brand, my soldering iron started acting super weird. No matter what I did, I couldn't get that smooth, perfect, skip-free solder bead. It just wasn't acting right. And even with my old electronic tip cleaning paste, it just wasn't doing the trick. Using the Hakko tip cleaning paste and this tip cleaner, it's back to normal. I literally thought I was going to have to buy a new iron, which I was totally fine with. I love the Hakko FX601, but I've been using it a lot for years now. So I was totally expecting to just get another iron. I was like, okay, it's time. Now I don't think I need to anymore. The tip cleaning paste in this thingy has worked so good. I can't hold up the tip cleaning paste anymore because it's now stuffed down to my soldering iron station. But this tip cleaning paste and this tip cleaner is amazing. The tip cleaning paste is $10.87, and again, this is $9.67. You can't beat that. I love it. And if I'm going to be using this instead of a soldering sponge, that's probably going to lengthen the life of my soldering iron because I'm not constantly dipping that temperature down below the melting point of whatever solder it is that I'm working with. So I'm super pleasantly surprised with this. I knew I was gonna love that tip cleaning paste because I'm very familiar with tip cleaning paste. And again, I love this smoke absorber. I love how quiet it is, how easy it's gonna be to get all of the pieces and parts for this. I love the Hakko name brand. I trust it with everything. So I'm super excited, guys. I absolutely approve of all of these products that you saw me test out today. Again, I will link them down below. They will not be affiliate links or anything like that. I'll just link them to make it easier for you guys. If you guys want to pick this stuff up too, you can. And of course, I'm gonna link everything else down below. If you want to check out my stained glass work and my stained glass business, that will be linked down below too. And if not, I'll see you next time. Bye.